Good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Change Radio News. Today is Tuesday, 6 May 2025. The news read by Divine Nambira. Here are the news headlines. Citizens describe by-elections as useless and a waste of money. Blessed Mhlanga granted bail finally. The Community Working Group on Health, CWGH, urges government to address the deteriorating healthcare system. And now for the news in detail. Many Zimbabweans have described by-elections as useless and a waste of money. Zimbabwe Election Commission has scheduled parliamentary by-elections for Gutu East and Nsizha North on June 14, 2025. This decision follows the expulsion of former Gutu East MP Benjamin Ganyiwa from ZANU-PF due to indiscipline, as well as the death of Nsizha North legislator Faraita Ruvinga. Many Zimbabweans oppose these by-elections, viewing them as a misuse of funds and resources, especially after ZANU-PF and Sengezo Chabangu recalled elected officials. Our reporter gives us more.
Many people are against the issue of the by-elections. The issue of the by-elections in Zimbabwe has emanated especially due to the recalls by ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF have recalled its members such as Gutu East MP Benjamin Ganyiwa. Benjamin Ganyiwa was recalled after he openly showed his support for Constantine Chiwenga, who is at loggerheads with Mnangagwa's agenda of 2030. Therefore, Masvingo, provincial ZANU-PF executive, expelled Ganyiwa from being a member of parliament and also a party member. This has kicked in the by-election. The by-election of Gutu East and Nsizha North is slated on the 14th of June 2025. Also, Sengezo Chabangu, ZANU-PF proxy, also recalled the duly elected members of parliament and councillors who contested under the popular President Nelson Chamisa and resoundingly won the 2023 elections. However, Sengezo Chabangu, working with the ZANU-PF, recalled these members, and unfortunately, ZANU-PF won these elections, and this has caused many people to say Sengezo Chabangu is working with the ZANU-PF. The wastage of money during campaigns, voting, and other processes has called many people to say this money that are being wasted for campaigns should then be put in building clinics, hospitals, roads, and other services in order for Zimbabweans to benefit at large. Reporting for Change Radio, here in Masvingo, Wejira Munya.
Blessed Mhlanga, the award-winning journalist who bravely provided a platform for war veterans and Comrade Geza, has been granted bail set at $500. Following the payment of this bail, Mhlanga will soon be released from custody. This development comes after significant pressure from citizens, civic organizations, and international advocates who rallied for his freedom. Mhlanga has spent 72 days in jail, and his release marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing fight for press freedom. The Community Working Group on Health, CWGH, has called for urgent action to address the deterioration of the country's health system. In their statement, CWGH said that the government must implement clear and practical measures to meet the urgent needs of the health sector. This comes at a time when there is a public outcry over the falling of the healthcare system. The Zimbabwe healthcare system is underfunded and it relies mostly on donor funds. Yesterday, the Minister of Youth Development, Tino Machakaire, posted on social media showing his displeasure about the deplorable state of Zimbabwe's hospitals. He urged President Emmerson Mnangagwa to immediately address the healthcare crisis as many are dying. There is a mix of progress and challenges in Kariba's Ward 7 on municipal service delivery. Change Radio's Kokelani Kame brings you the latest from Councillor Olipa Chiriseri. Let's hear more from her.
Good morning. As a councillor, I'm Councillor Chiriseri, Councillor Ward 5. And as a councillor, I'm aware of the importance of effective service delivery in my ward. Some common challenges I faced include community needs. In my community, in my ward, there's no public toilet. All toilets are non-functional. You know? Can you imagine? All public toilets are not working. There's a stadium called Shaminuka Stadium. The stadium is in need of renovations. And the stadium is used by Division 2. Those teams in Division 2, they are using that stadium. And in that stadium, there's also a toilet, but the toilet is not working. Can you imagine? Everything is upside down. There's always best pipes everywhere.
Following on our story of Friday 2 May, when we reported on Chilonga residents rebuilding a damaged low-lying bridge, today we have been reliably informed that the contributions for the bridge have been extended to include other chiefs such as Chief Mpapa. Chiefs are collecting contributions and forwarding them to the collectors. Residents who are already overtaxed through head tax have no choice but to contribute, since local authority Chirezi Rural District Council is doing nothing to rebuild the bridge, and neither is the government. Promises after promises have been made by ZANU-PF officials at elections, only to fade away once elected to appear again in the next election campaign. Farmers in Crystal Springs in Gwanda have loaded research institutions and seed houses for seed varieties that deter quelea birds. This improves the uptake of traditional grain production in the district. Residents in Barber Fields, Bulawayo, are living in fear following a sharp rise in armed robberies and muggings in the area. Our reporter gives us more.
Vagari vemuBarber Fields muguta reBulawayo vakatarisana nematambudziko ematsotsi ayo ari kurwisa vanhu pamwe nekuvatorera midziyo nezvinhu zvavo. Matsotsi aya ari kurwisa vanhu kunyange munguva dzemasikati zuva rakacheka nyika. Sachigaro weBarber Fields Resident Association Amos Banda anoti vanhu vazhinji vave kugara vakabatira hana mumaoko nekuda kwematsotsi aya, naizvozvo akumbira mapurisa kuti apindire. Ndiri mutori wenhau, ndakamira neFinyiro Change Radio muBulawayo.
In a show of complete failure by government, schools have to wait for donations from well-wishers or even government officials. A school in Mwenezi District Ward 14, Mwenezi Reinete Primary School, received a donation from Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheila Chikomo. The money is to be used for the completion of a much-needed classroom block. Due to failure to generate income, the school has had to wait for donations. Simbarashe Rushwaya, a senior teacher at the school, accepted the donations on behalf of the school. University lecturers and staff have submitted a letter to the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education demanding an increase in salaries. They have warned that if their needs are not addressed, they will go on strike. Currently, many university lecturers and staff are participating in a go-slow as a demonstration against poor working conditions and inadequate salaries. Professors, doctors, and other qualified lecturers are also earning very low salaries, typically around $300. Additionally, university workers have written to the ministry urging action on the salary issue and have threatened to strike if their concerns are not addressed. Our reporter gives us more.
The university lecturers have sent a letter to the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education informing them of their intention to go on a full-blown strike. The workers, including the lecturers, said they are earning peanuts and they are not happy with the salary that they are getting. The government of Zimbabwe is giving people $300 regardless of their qualifications and experiences. This has made the university lecturers such as professors, doctors, and other qualified personnel to have a bone to chew with the government. They are demanding that their salaries must be retained to the former salaries where they were getting above $2,000. However, the government has not met these needs, and this has made the university lecturers to go on a go-slow as they are waiting for the government to respond. Failure for the government to respond, the university lecturer said they are going on a full-blown strike. The Zimnews and other students have come in solidarity with their lecturers, saying failure to get enough salary have caused the lecturers not to do their work because they have complaints. The students said these university lecturers do not have money for transport, clothes and food, and they are demotivated. The Zimnews also calls upon the government to come in support and pay workers, especially the university lecturer, that they can execute their duties. Reporting for Change Radio here in Harare, Wejira Munya.
There are significant concerns among medical practitioners in Masvingo regarding individuals who are HIV positive and on antiretroviral therapy, ART, but are unable to access their medication. Many people face challenges in obtaining ART due to the long distances to their clinics. Consequently, there are calls for the Ministry of Health and Child Welfare to establish mobile clinics to improve access to these essential services. Our reporter gives us more.
There are great concerns here in Masvingo. Hundreds of people who are on HIV medication are failing to take their ART due to long distance and also the unavailability of ART, especially in the rural clinics. Change Radio today spoke with the doctors and also nurses who highlighted that in many instances, people who are on ART, especially in rural areas and others in urban areas, are failing to collect their ART because of two main reasons. The reasons are the long distances. Majority of the clinics and hospitals in the rural areas and in urban areas are far away from residents. This has caused some residents not to access their ART. In addition, There are some clinics in rural areas who do not have art, and these have demotivated many people who want to access their art. As a result, majority of the people are now defaulting, and this has escalated the issue of HIV and AIDS. The fight against HIV and AIDS can be defeated because people are failing to get their art. As a result, the medical practitioners are urging people on art to religiously take their art and also to sacrifice their time in walking even long distance to access it. In addition, the citizens are also urging the government to provide the mobile clinics that they may be able to access art. Reporting for Change Radio here in Masvingo, Wejira.
In international news, a group of locals in Ga-Rankuwa in the northwestern part of Pretoria in South Africa have accused other South Africans of taking their employment. Organized individuals took to the streets on 5th May 2025 to protest against fellow residents, primarily from Limpopo province, accusing them of taking jobs meant for locals at George Mukhari Hospital. One resident criticized the hiring criteria, which apparently favors the vendor people. The locals are calling for the majority of the residents from Limpopo to be dismissed. Onlookers are asking the protesters if residents from Limpopo are not South Africans. In sports news, Chevron's bowler Blessing Muzarabani has been nominated for the ICC Men's Player of the Month for April 2025. The first Zimbabwean to take 6 wickets in 3 consecutive test matches, reaching 50 wickets in just 11 tests, equaling Heath Streak's national record for the fastest to 50 test wickets. The Sports Writers Association of Zimbabwe, SWAZ, and the Sports Journalists Association of Zimbabwe, SPOJA, have officially lodged complaints regarding FC Platinum head coach Norman Mapeza's conduct during media interviews. Both associations have expressed concern over Mapeza's aggressive behavior towards the media, describing it as unacceptable. This comes after Mapeza threatened a sport journalist during a post-match interview. To end the news bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Citizens described by-elections as useless and a waste of money. Blessed Mhlanga awarded bail finally. The Community Working Group on Health, CWGH, urges government to address the deteriorating healthcare system. And that concludes our bulletin for the day. Thank you for listening. From myself, Divine Nambira, and the entire team at Change Radio, we wish you an absolutely blessed night.